All right, guys, we got this Dodge Avenger here. I think it's like a 2011 or 10 or a 9 or something like that. They're all the same. But anyhow, V6 won't start. The customer said he was driving somewhere, went through an intersection, went to give it gas, and it just died. Bunch of lights came on the dash. He said it was like a light show. All the lights were flickering and lights were coming on and going off, and it just wouldn't start. Now, it's completely dead right now, but I did go out and see the car when it was pulled over the side of the road, and it wouldn't even click. You would try to start it and it was just dead to the world. But the lights were on and all that stuff, so I tried to put a booster pack on it. The lights brightened, but it's still nothing, wouldn't start at all. So we're gonna take a look and see what's going on with it. First thing I think I'm gonna do is probably take a look at the battery and the connections. This has got the battery that's down in the front of the bumper and the wheel well. So a lot of times I've seen the connections and stuff get corroded on those. But I think we're either into a wiring issue or possibly a battery connection issue, something like that. So let's get this thing up in the air and take a look around and see if we can't find anything obvious. All right, so see if you can see that terminal down there. She looks real crusty, so I mean that's definitely a hit for the electrical system. We're gonna get this wheel off and see how bad it is, clean it up, see what the battery state of charge, state of health is. We want to make sure, obviously, for electrical issues, that the heart of the electrical system, the battery, is good to go, and that our connections are good before we can start diagnosing anything. All right, so that was sort of my suspicion, was that it was like a poor battery connection. Where I live, we get a lot of corrosion buildup on stuff, and that's just par for the course with these journeys and the Avengers, and like battery's just in a horrible place and it collects lots of moisture and all that stuff sits right in there. You get a lot of salty water and stuff that pools up in this tray, and it just destroys everything. It looks like if you look up in there too, we may have some wiring harness issues going on. So we're going to, even right in there, look where that wiring harness sits. It's just getting chopped by the body. So like, that's great. Probably getting cut into. Anyhow, we're gonna start with the battery first, see what's going on. And then I'm sure that'll probably help it a little bit, because that's awful. And we'll see where we are from there. So let me pull this off and try to clean it up and put a different battery in. So this is like, the best part about working on these is that like you try to loosen this nut off, but like the terminal's broken. So you're like, oh no, I'll just loosen this other one off then. So then you get in there and you try to loosen it off. And then, by the way, this is the positive terminal, so like don't short it out on anything. But you try to do that, and then like that's gonna like break that one off. So you're like, oh great, what am I gonna do now? So pretty much just gotta like break it off and then deal with it once it's off. But luckily I do have a terminal, so that's cool. I can just, I think I'm just gonna try to break this thing off and then deal with it out here. Maybe stick some vice grips on it or something. It's gonna suck to do, but just the way they go. Yeah. Okay, so I just had a terminal in my toolbox that kind of fit on there, cleaned it all up nice, and then cleaned up the actual terminal on the wiring harness. So I'm sure this battery's flat and it may be toast, but I'm going to, I guess, throw a booster pack on there, maybe the charger. We'll check out, or maybe put the charger on it for a little bit here and just see what our battery voltages are. And I do have another battery here that's fully charged, so I could just put the jumper cables on and give it some juice. So at least the that terminal is clean. The one in the back for the negative is a little bit crusty, but it's not, it's actually not too bad. So I'm just gonna leave that one for now. And yeah, let's get it. So it just keeps doing that over and over and over again. Let's see what it does when I try to start it. Wow. So it was definitely that battery issue. That terminal was so corroded it probably didn't get any power to any of the modules or anything like that. Now, we did see that there was a corroded wire there in the harness, so I can see we've got our brake warning master light on and our ABS light on. That may be due to battery voltage issues, but I'm curious to see what that, I don't know what that noise is. I'm curious to see what that wire is for. Oh, those lights went out. Nice, interesting. Anyhow, yeah, I don't know if we should just leave that wire or fix it. It's spinning. All right, now we got a weird noise, so we're gonna start it. It sounds like a dying whale. But we're going to pull the belt off. I'm assuming there's something on the accessory drive, whether it's an idler or I was thinking the alternator at the beginning, but we're gonna take a look. Something's gotta be seized. Oh, maybe it's that air conditioning compressor clutch. I bet you that's what it is. Totally, 100%.
Say something, guys.
Yeah, all right, so the air conditioning compressor pulley, usually I see them lock up a lot of times. It's not always the compressor itself, but usually the pulley. You get a lot of rust and stuff that'll build up in between that clutch, and then it'll start biting and binding and grabbing, and then it'll rip the rubber right out of there's like a rubber damper in there, it'll rip that right out and melt all the rubber out of it, and then the pulley will start trying to come off, and it just gets all chewed up because the belt's spinning it and gets screwed. So probably pull the belt off and just take a look and make sure. I mean, it looks like original compressor, so I'd probably just throw a compressor on it for the time. You can get them online for cheap now. So also this oil pan's an issue. It's rotten, leaking. And then, as we showed you in the beginning of the video, yeah, we do have a corroded wire that's pretty much toast, so I gotta fix that, and I'm gonna pull the air box up and check the other wiring harness, but hey, it starts now. So the question is, you know, when this thing died on him, is it because this locked up and it stalled the engine, and then it was locked and it wouldn't start then? Or my question is, you know, like we towed it in and then it was completely dead, like you turned the key and nothing. Obviously it was the battery terminal that was rotten, so just a coincidence that it was two things at once, like locked up compressor pulley and a crappy battery terminal. It just is what it is, right?